Welcome, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to our special workshop brought to you by Able to Shine called "Living It Up" with Leo Shaw. My name is Gary, and it is my genuine pleasure to be your host today. Today's special guest is really special, for lack of a better word. I have personally had the pleasure of watching him grow as a musician and as a figure of inspiration to us all. Actually, just a few years ago, I was first introduced to Leo at a show. I believe this was in Palo Alto. I literally watched this guy create a song. Just there was an audience who gave him a word and he made a song on the spot, literally right in front of us. Already for there, I was already screaming my head off and I was waving my posters and all that. But if that wasn't enough, a few minutes later, he breaks out into some slick vocals and also has a hip hop dance. I will just say my eyes, my ears, my whole body was very satisfied, very, very happy with all this. Fast forward a few years later, I actually watched Leo perform in SF, and he's singing some of the songs from the album 384, which is written about his beloved grandma. I think Leo is a great inspiration to us all, not only because he's chasing his dream of music, but also because he is such a filial child, right? Think about it, his first album is not written about his fan. He has a lot of fans, just to let you know. It's not written about his fans. It's not written about all the people chasing after him. It's written about his family. Just to find someone who is so grounded, I must say it is my genuine honor. Then my final thing I want to say is just a few days ago as well, Leo premiered his music video for Sliced Fruit, which is something we will be talking about today. Something that I will talk about just briefly is that for Leo's writing style for music, is that he talks a lot about, he sounds like Ed Sheeran. I'm sure some of you have heard of Ed Sheeran from our songs that we sang in the past. You can also hear his music on Netflix through the show Wu Assassins and in national commercials such as Panda Express, where we get genuine Chinese food. Okay, now without further ado, let's put some snaps together for our guest of honor, Leo. Leo, would you like to say a few words?
Hi, everyone. Leo here. It's so nice to see some familiar faces out there in the crowd. I'm excited to be here today. I mean, appreciate Gary talking about me, but ultimately it's not just about me. It's about you and how I can support you in starting, to write your own songs and show you what that's like, how I started. So yeah, really, I'm here for you guys. So throughout the whole thing, if there's any questions, yeah, here for you, and excited to get into it.
Very importantly, I just want to check, hopefully everyone has brought their own music. In the end, if we have extra time in Q&A, we can have a chance to have Leo give some feedback about your music. Not only that, but we have a really exciting part coming right up. I was talking to Leo the other day about how he writes music, because the songs that he writes are really incredible. He kind of laid it out for me that there are 5 steps to songwriting. I was hoping maybe, Leo, you could walk us through a little bit on how a song is created.
Sure. I don't want to spend too much time lecturing at you guys about what this is. We'll go into a demonstration pretty shortly, but
yes,
I was going to it really quickly. Just keep in mind, there's so many different ways to write a song. It's not like the way I tell you to write a song. It's going to be the only or the best way to write a song. So I'm just going to go through and talk about what it means for me. So usually when I start writing a song, it's like, okay, what do I want to write about? What's the story here? What's the connection here? For example, I don't even know if Gary knows this, but I wrote a song called Zoom, actually. So maybe I can play that later. But
yeah,
that came up because I was like, people are on Zoom a lot nowadays. Let me write a funny song about Zoom. So that was my concept, my story. And then structure, thinking about, there's a verse, chorus, bridge. That's kind of standard structure for a pop song. So I was like, I'm not going to go crazy with that. Let me just stick with the same thing. And then I usually write, I write lyrics from there, just like scratch ideas, like, what about Zoom is funny? Like people not being muted and everyone talking over each other, and Zoom chat blowing up like it is right now. So just like, what are things that are relatable that people can connect to. And then I'll start. Oh, let me think for Zoom. I think this was a chord pattern for Zoom.
Hey, Leo.
Yeah.
Sorry, Leo. Can I?
Okay.
I wanted to ask for a little bit more. For example, when you're talking about the
Yeah.
concept and the story, do you pick it just based off of, oh, I was watching this down the street and then I noticed, hey, I could write a song about this? Is it kind of like that, or is it something that happened in life? How do you kind of pick the topic?
Just I think whatever I think is going to be fun to write about. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I try not to force something just because I think it's interesting, but I want to choose something that I genuinely connect to and I think is it would be fun or funny to write.
Does it matter if, let's say you can, for example, let's say I connect to chinchillas, but maybe people don't even know what chinchillas are. Is this still worth it to write a song about that?
I think you should definitely just write about what you're passionate about. I don't know if you know an artist called Doja Cat, Gary, but
I think I've heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Doja Cat got famous because she wrote this song about cows called Moo, and it went super viral on the internet because she like dressed up as a cow and just like turned up, basically. You know, so it's like I think especially in the age of the internet that we're in now, it's like it's like because everyone's writing about such unique things that it's honestly, you know, I'd rather not like restrict you guys. Like whatever you want to write about,
Definitely.
you know,
Gotcha,
I don't want to put you guys into like any box of like what songwriting should be or not be about.
Okay. Cool. Then please proceed. You're starting to bust out a melody.
Yeah. So I'm just using this song that I wrote to demonstrate because I was like, okay, Zoom, like what about Zoom am I trying to hone in on? And I chose the concept of like, oh, I miss my friends. So I want to be on Zoom to see my friends. So then it became like, so hop on Zoom, yeah, hop on Zoom, hop on Zoom. I want to see my friends, so I hop on Zoom. So that's like, I usually start with writing, what's the chorus? What's the hook?
Yeah.
What's
neat.
that? Yeah. And obviously in terms of the last one, arrangement, instrumentation, I usually start on guitar. And because this pattern is like more of a jazzy. So if anyone knows, oh man, what's his name? Lauv, L-A-U-V. He has a song.
Sorry, I won't say, hey kids, can you guys not draw all over the presentation? I just realized that was really distracting. Okay, yeah, please leave it blank. Okay, thank you. Yeah, go ahead, Leo. Sorry about that. Yeah, I've heard of Lauv.
Yeah, he has a song called, I think it's called Lost in Paris.
Yeah.
Lost in Paris, something like that. And it's actually the same chords. So, and then that last part is when it can get more complicated. It's like, oh, what kind of drums do I want in there? That's more thinking about what is a song going to sound like finally. Do I want bass in there? Do I want strings in there? And I don't want to talk about that too much right now because that's kind of like the end point of songwriting. I just want to make sure that was really complete.
I think I'm pretty sure I speak on behalf of the kids on this one. I think it's pretty impressive how you just bust out a tune. Is there a trick to it? Does it have to do with music theory, or how do you come up with a tune that can match your lyrics?
I think for me, I usually start, it's like choosing the chord pattern is like the most important thing. Because for example, that chord pattern, to me, it's like, okay, it feels laid back, like coffee shop kind of feeling versus like, it's like more of a pop, like upbeat feeling. So, and that's the thing. I think sometimes people think like, oh, I need to be able to play an instrument to play a song. That's not true. There's like so many just instrumentals that producers make that you can just grab off of YouTube and write to. And
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I tell my songwriting students is that, I ask them if they play an instrument or not, but really you don't need to. Like a lot of my friends, especially like rappers, they just start
Yeah,
rapping, they don't like play an instrument. But for rappers, it's all about finding the right beat, finding something nice to to spit to.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Okay,
so yeah.
very
So
cool.
the
Okay.
power of the internet, guys, you can write to anything you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Before we move forward, let's see. I'll pick out one of the audience members to give us a topic, and let's see if we can go forward with that.
Great.
This
Let's have
is
some let's
someone
have some
who I
fun.
see. I'm gonna go by the names. Honestly, I think I'm gonna end up picking someone who I do recognize. Wow, this is funny. It's funny that you're writing about Zoom because so far, majority of the time, I've been using Google Hangouts, so I'm like definitely less familiar. How about let's go with Alina, since you show up on my video pretty early. Can you unmute yourself and provide us with a topic?
Pandas.
Okay, why do you pick pandas? Do you want to tell us about it?
Like they're one of my favorite animals.
Okay, cool. Well, see, I think that really matches well with what Leo, what you just said, because you're saying whenever you write about music, it doesn't matter too much about what you choose to write about. It's just pick a topic that you like. Then, Alina, can I ask you for one more favor? We're gonna try to get a chorus knocked out. Okay. Do you want this song to be upbeat? Do you want it to be laid back? Do you want it to be like rap style? That's the first question to answer. And the second question is there a sentence you really want to say about pandas?
Uh, I think I want it to be like upbeat.
Okay,
And then, like,
upbeat.
there's not really a sentence I want to say about pandas.
Okay, then let's go with, is there anyone else in the chat who loves pandas and feels like they have something to say about pandas? Wait, sorry, one sec. I said that, but right now I'm having problems opening up chat. Can someone say, wow, there's a lot of random stuff.
I
Okay,
don't know who is who right now. I don't know who to chat it to because you guys are both
okay,
named and both are
no
giants.
I like
worries.
pandas.
I see someone here that's Andon, Aaron, Brandon, and Carissa. Can you unmute? I asked you to unmute. Can you tell us something cool about pandas? From Aaron, I don't like pandas. Ah, so sad. And he ran away. Okay, no problem. Then I'm going to ask Wendy, since Wendy's video is here. Wendy, can you tell us something cool about pandas?
Brandon!
Just something neat. You love pandas. Okay, cool. Then now we're going back to Leo. We want something upbeat about pandas, and a line for you is "I love pandas" with LUV as the spelling.
Okay, that's interesting. Start with something
I like the black animal.
like the black and the white. Okay. So I think it's interesting that you chose LUV because I also think when I look at words, how how do I sing LUV? How do I sing LUV versus LOVE, right? Because it might be LOVE is more the standard spelling. So it's like, I love pandas. I love pandas. And that's more, so I'm just
Okay.
thinking, because
Hey,
especially in music, yeah.
My dad pronounces it Louvre.
Sorry, Leo. I have one more line that you can add in too. This
Great.
line says, "I am fat, but did you know I can climb trees?"
Okay, let me type some of this down here. So
Yeah, for sure.
I'm fat, but did you know
I can climb trees.
I can climb trees? Okay, so I'm seeing a very important decision tree moment here for you guys. Are we the panda? Like, are we singing from the perspective of being a panda? Or are we talking about pandas, like from an outside perspective?
How
That's going to be
about
important to me.
let's go with from the outside perspective.
Okay. I love pandas, LUV. someone was talking about how their dad pronounces panda. How does your dad pronounce panda?
No, it's like my dad
Oh, love.
pronounces the word
Lou.
L-U-V, Louvre, but I know that's
Louvre.
not right. So I usually pronounce it with, I don't know, it's just like thicker or something. No, it doesn't know that. It's weird.
Louvre is cool. I like Louvre.
Okay,
I'm
sure.
all about.
Louvre is cool.
Yeah. So, and I think for me, when I write a hook, it's like, how can I make it as simple as possible? I don't want, right, for songwriting, it's like how do I make it catchy? And how do I make it something that people will remember? So sometimes a hook can just be one sentence. It doesn't need to be, a whole thing. So say I'm starting with this concept of I love pandas. I love pandas, pandas, pandas. I love pandas, pandas, pandas. I love pandas, pandas. I love pandas, pandas, pandas. For example, it's that maybe if I want, I could do a variation of a line. So for example, I like that melody. I love pandas, pandas, pandas. And then this is an important part of songwriting too, is how do I make it rhyme? And I think it's easy to look at the last syllable of a word, like panda, like, okay, what's another word that ends with a? But another secret on how to make songs sound even better is if both of the syllables rhyme. So not just a at the end, but pa, so a, an, and a.
Oh, so you're saying all three parts you want it to rhyme instead of just one?
Yeah, so like both of the syllables. And that's getting a little deeper, but I think with a word like panda, so what's another word that rhymes with pen?
Pen. I'm thinking bend. Oh, pan. Fanned.
Yeah. Fan, okay. So for example, like this is how my mind works. So for example, it's like fan. And there's different ways to talk about fan, right? Like fan the actual, oh, I'm hot, like let me fan myself. Or like I am a fan. So immediately if I'm like, okay, I'm talking about pandas, I love pandas, I'm also a fan of a panda. So and then sometimes it's easy to just use simple words too to fill it. So for example, panda, I also say fan, yeah. Yeah, as in just like, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a way to like twist the syllable. So for example, like, I love pandas, pandas, pandas. I am a fan, yeah, fan, yeah, fan, yeah. So that's a way to kind of like cheat it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about English too. You can pronounce certain words in different ways where they're not pronounced like the usual way they're pronounced to fit your syllables. Obviously, you can't take it too far such that people don't even understand you. But for example, I said fan, yeah, but instead of yeah, I'd say yeah. So I love pandas, pandas, pandas. I am a fan, yeah, fan, yeah, fan, yeah. So now panda, fan, yeah, that's like, now it flows even better because both syllables rhyme. And this is called internal rhyming, like when there's more than just the end of a line that rhymes.
Yeah,
and that to me is like the fun process. Yeah, because
I know a lot of the times
crazy stuff can come out.
Even when sometimes I do rhyming exercises in classes and things like that. Usually what people will do is they only pick one syllable words to end. That way it's easy to rhyme with. But that's really cool that when you have a 2-syllable word, you can still rhyme with that as well. I think this is a smooth transition to talk a little bit because I know you mentioned that for songwriting, you have been reading a lot of books ever since you were young. How has that kind of contributed or helped to your ability to write songs?
Yeah, I mean, I was so happy to see that in the chat people were talking about Harry Potter.
Mhm.
You know, like it's amazing to me. I don't know, Gary, if you read Harry Potter growing up, but to me,
Yes.
that's what I was reading Harry Potter books as they came out. So I remember when I was living in Beijing and like the package would come for like Harry Potter book 5, Harry Potter book 6, Harry Potter book 7, and that was like the peak of my childhood. Like just so excited to get those books.
Totally hear you on that.
Yeah, because you guys now you can just buy the whole series and then just like binge read, right? But there's something to like waiting for those books. But to go back to the question, I think the best it's so good for songwriting because when I read it activates my imagination. Like it's something different than watching a TV show where everything visually and audio is like it's already there for me. The information's already there for me. But reading is so cool to me because I get to like kind of fill it in my mind with my own creativity. So I feel like a
Yeah.
part of that process as I read a book, as well. And as you can see, like songwriting, it's such a wacky process. Like there's rules. There's like rules, of course, that help you make a song that makes sense that people would like. But also, you can write about loving pandas and being a fan of pandas and who's to stop you. So I think having fun is like so important for songwriting as well. And part of that fun is the imagination, the coming up with wacky stuff, which I definitely got from reading a lot growing up.
Mhm. Watch out, Leo. In about a week, I'm gonna get like 15 emails with songs about pandas. I'm gonna send them all to you. Just pick your
Get some
favorite panda
variations.
song. Cool. All right. Well, I think that was a really helpful run through. I know we're all on mute, but we should all give small little hand claps for that. Honestly, that's pretty impressive how Leo literally took pandas, I love pandas, and made it into a song. So let's move forward to the next one. As we kind of mentioned a bit earlier, Leo released a song recently. It's called Sliced Fruit. So what we're going to do from this point for everyone, don't worry, if you still have song ideas, I think we'll have time to revisit it at the end of this workshop. But currently, we're thinking, why not see it from the master himself? So we're going to listen to Sliced Fruit, and then from there, hopefully we can also I'm going to ask Leo to break down the lyrics for us. I think that'd be really cool. I do want to point out there's one slight problem. I believe I can, in Zoom, Leo, by chance, do you know this? Are you able to share the screen and the sound at the same time?
Yes, I believe if you're sharing the screen, it should
Yeah.
the sound should
Okay.
automatically go through.
Oh, okay, cool. Then let's close this really quick. And I'm going to open Slice Fruit Leo Shop. For some reason, there we go. Is this one it? This one is it. Fantastic. Okay. Leo, since I have you pinned right now, if you can give me a thumbs up if you hear the sounds, that'll be great. Okay, I think the sound is not playing. Let me see if I can.
I think when you share, there's this option at the very bottom that says share computer audio.
Okay, how about now? Okay, fantastic. I'll start over. This animation is adorable, but check out these vocals. All right, hope everyone enjoys.
You put a bowl of sliced fruit in my hand. As I grow older, I'll try to understand till I feel enough for you. Someday I'll be the one that calls you every day, just to hear your voice echo from miles away. You cut into your heart, save me the best part. Cookie jar, not so far from my reaching arms. Yeah, the bitter fruit, slice your heart in two, divided up, measuring cup, one for my brother too. Apples and oranges cannot be compared. You peel them both with indiscriminate care, without a thought to the time you may have lost. One day I'll find and I'll pull the skin and cut to the core until I feel enough for you. Someday I'll be the one that calls you every day, just to hear your voice echo from miles away. You cut into your heart, save me the best part. Cookie jar, not so far from my reaching arms. Yeah, the bitter fruit, slice your heart in two, divided up, measuring cup, one for my brother too. You cut into your heart, save me the best part. Cookie jar, not so far from my reaching arms. You ate the bitter fruit, slice your heart in two, divided up, measuring cup, one for my brother too.
Look at those cute pictures.
Someday I'll be the one that calls you every day, just to hear your voice echo from miles away.
So everyone should go thank your moms right now while if they're around, or your dad. You know, of course, it could be either, or your sister or your brother, whoever cuts fruit for you. It actually means a lot. So now this is personally my favorite part. I love listening to music in general, but something that's even greater than listening to music is hearing the story behind why this person created the song. I'm gonna get back to sharing this. Leo was very nice to help me divide up his lyrics. This way we can take a look one at a time and see, this way he'll help explain to us. Let me share my screen. Right now, feel free to write in chat, or you can write to me if you have any thoughts. In one word, what did you feel after listening to Leo's song? And I shall open up chat this way I can tell. I have someone who wrote, wow. Someone wrote a smiley face. Oh, someone said it made me cry, emotional. Ooh, you're getting all the feels. Someone wrote a period. That's awesome. Thank you. I'm gonna assume that is a really tiny smiley face that I couldn't see. All right. Or I actually think it might have been a typo. But nonetheless, oh, you know what? I think it was an apostrophe. That's right, it was a tear. Okay, I'm sharing the screen now, so how about let's dig a little bit into the lyrics. Leo, are you able to see the screen okay for your first slide of your lyrics? All right. Awesome. Take us through Genius lyric style.
Sure. I mean, I wrote the song because my mom always cut fruit for me growing up. Like it'd always be like a fruit. It always a lot of apples, oranges, um, grapes sometimes. But yeah, she would always do these little acts of love for me, and I always,
Mhm.
yeah, I feel like I didn't appreciate it as a kid. I was like, Mom, I'm busy playing games. Like, oh, don't bother me. But looking back on those, I've graduated from college now, and now, living on my own, doing the adulting thing, and yeah, it's these really small things from my mom that I really appreciate.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, going back really quick, why do
yeah.
you think, because I have a funny story for this, but I'm
Oh,
curious,
please.
why do you think your parents gave you apples, oranges, and grapes? Is there a reason for this?
I don't. You mean why those fruit in particular?
Yeah.
I don't know. But definitely apples the
Yes.
most. I don't know
Okay.
if my mom was just going by like the apple a day keeps the doctor away kind
Yeah.
of mantra, but it was heavily an apple meta,
Mhm, mhm.
fruit
Well,
meta.
you see, in my family, we lived at this place called Costco. And since nobody liked
Yeah.
apples, there was this delicious one called it was called the Red Delicious. Dude, this apple
Uh-huh.
was terrible, but because it was
Oh
always on
no.
sale and it satisfied the fruit requirement,
Yep.
we would always have Red Delicious, and I hated those apples.
What did you hate about it?
It's the red, so Fuji apples, they're very juicy. They're really solid. You can kind of chew
Yes.
them. But with the Red Delicious, it tastes like dust. That's a really good way to put it. It's not, there's not any juice. You just chew it and it just falls apart in your mouth. It's so unsatisfying. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. So you're saying now that you're older, you got to do this adulting thing on your own. Yeah, feel free. You can continue.
Yeah, I think the first two lines are pretty straightforward. You put a bowl of sliced fruit in my hand. As I grow older, I'll try to understand what it meant, my parents' love for me. And yeah, this next line, all the things, all the wings you built for me. And this kind of goes into like starting to build a metaphor. Like what can represent the ways that what symbol like makes sense as something that could represent what my parents have done for me. And I thought, yeah, wings, they're preparing me to fly like a bird into the world, into the scary world. And I want to note that, yeah, earlier we talked about internal rhyming, like not just rhyming line to line, but also within the same line. So notice like all the things, all the wings.
Oh,
I threw, yeah. So like where possible, I don't try to force it, but where it makes sense and it can fit, it adds a subtle, nice flow when you listen to it. And the next line, I keep going on like okay, wings, okay, cool. Like I'm trying to visualize as if it was an animated video, like in my mind. Okay, if I put these wings on me, what happens next? I fly. I go out into the world. And this is another example of how me reading supports me in my songwriting, because I don't know if any of you kids read about Greek mythology and stuff, but there's a story of Daedalus and Icarus, and they were stuck in the labyrinth with the Minotaur. And Daedalus, the father, he was a brilliant inventor, and he ended up creating wings out of wax that could help him and his son fly and escape. So Daedalus is the father in this story, and his son Icarus was the one that flew too close to the sun. His wings made of wax melted, and then he fell into the ocean and died. So that to me represented like, my pride as a kid, like thinking like, oh, my parents don't understand me. Like I know more than my parents, the pride of that. And like,
is that why you say marching to your own beat? Is that like the pride?
Yeah, it was like the attraction of like, this is my life. I'm gonna do what I want. And kind of diving like so far into that I kind of forgot to like also give back to my parents, or at least be like grateful for what
this is really cool. I feel
me.
like this whole first page, it's all a lot of metaphors. right? Like, for example, if I
Mhm.
went to someone random on the street and said, "Hey, what do you think about sliced fruit?" They'll go, "Sure, give me a bowl." But I feel like to a lot of us who had really caring parents, we look at this and we go, "Oh yeah, I remember when my parents went out of their way to cut fruit." And you go into this whole metaphor, which is really, really neat. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next one.
Yeah, and this goes into another metaphor. Because I think this section, the pre-chorus, for me, the theme was all about how am I giving back to my parents? How am I showing up for my parents, or at least showing that I'm grateful, you know? So I said, one day I'll find an apple to skin and cut to the core until I feel enough for you. Yeah, just for me, it was like, oh man, all these things my parents did for me. Like I want to give that back in some way, to like feel enough um to feel like I'm almost like repaying the favor is a bad way to say it, but just like how to show gratitude for that. And yeah, someday I'll be the one that calls you every day just to hear your voice echo from miles away. Because I haven't lived, with my parents for a long time, since I came to university in LA. And they live pretty close up in the Bay, so it's easy to drive to see them. But mostly how we communicate is like calling them. So
yeah. Are you wait? Where I thought your parents? I thought your parents lived in Beijing.
Oh no, they live in the Bay. Yeah, so they live in Alamo right now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
When did all of you move over from Beijing?
Basically, once I graduated from high school, because I came to California to go to USC, and then my little brother also he went to a boarding school for high school too. So basically, that's when they moved back to the States.
All right, cool. That was pretty straightforward. This is a little bit longer.
Yeah, so this is the chorus. This is the chorus of the song. And for me growing up, my mom, she always cut me out all the meat of the apple, but then just like the slivers of, apple on the core of the apple, she would eat from that. So she'd always save me the best parts of the apple. So I liken that to like her cutting into the apple, but it's also like her cutting into the apple to give me a piece of like her heart, to give me her love effectively. And she would always save me the best part, even when we eat fish too, she would give us all the meat and then like eat the fish head, that kind of
thing. Fish heads are not that good. That's what I learned the hard way. Why are my parents always eating them?
Yeah, they must really like it, huh? Yeah. Yeah, the next line, cookie jar, not so far from my reaching arms. Again, you'll see that internal rhyme again. Jar, far, arms. Yeah, I really laid it thick with the rhymes in there.
Could I ask what the cookie jar is in reference to?
Cookie jar, it's it's like something to me represents like a symbol of like what I as a kid always reached for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh mom, I don't want to eat your fruit. I would just want to eat cookies or this like junk food. And so to me, it represents like, oh, my mom cut me this fruit like painstakingly, but I'm still like looking towards like this cookie jar, like, oh, what's stuff I like more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was a greedy
kid. Give me that processed flour.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm talking about, Gary. Yeah, and I think most of you guys are Chinese, right? So I think about, for the next line, I think about 吃苦, to eat bitter,
Oh, that's so cool. Double meaning because of Chinese.
So I think about, my mom, for my family, she like ate bitter things figuratively and literally, like all her sacrifice for me. She sliced your hurt in two. It's like kind of slice your heart in two, but going along with like the theme of bitterness and sacrifice. Divided up, measuring cup, again the internal rhyme, up cup. And then this to me isn't too much of a metaphor. Just like, yeah, it was me and my little brother. So she split.
Both of you guys
split
got
up her
one.
love. Yeah,
Yeah.
she
When
took
you
care of
talked
us.
about when you're writing about the bitter fruit, that reminded me a while back. I remember someone asked me saying, "Hey Gary, 你能吃苦吗?" And I said, "Yeah, I eat a little," because I didn't know that the person wasn't asking me, "Am I willing to work hard?"
Yeah.
Those are good times. The Chinglish is always fun. Is this
Mhm.
your second verse over here?
Yeah, this is my second
Okay.
verse. This is my second verse and the pre-chorus, which we'd already talked about. So I'll just talk about
Okay.
the top half of this page.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, and I always like throwing in expressions that I hear and read about. So that goes back to like, oh yeah, like there's no way I know about these random expressions unless I read a lot. So going back to the importance of reading. And something I'd hear was just like, yeah, you can't compare apples and oranges. I think it's usually in a math context, like you can't like add them up as if they're the same thing.
Yeah, for the variables, right? X, Y.
Yeah, like you can't compare apples and oranges. But those are the fruits that my mom, cut for me the most.
Mhm.
So in this line, I'm just like, apples and oranges cannot be compared. You peel them both with indiscriminate care. Indiscriminate just means like she treated them equally. Yeah, I think my mom's actually in here right now. So hi, mom.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she says she tuned in. But just that for her, it's not about what specific fruit necessarily it's about, but it's just that she cares enough to cut fruit for me is the most important thing. And then without a thought to the time you may have lost. And again, this is a good example. So say thought and lost, they're not direct rhyme. It's, I forget what the term is called. They're basically called imperfect rhymes because the vowel sound is the same. Even though lost is ost and thought is ot, they both have the ah sound. So when
Why
you hear
would
them,
you say it's good to use these almost rhymes?
it gives you more rhyme options.
Oh, to transition into something different. Is that kind of what you're referring to?
As in, like, if you didn't treat these as a rhyme, I wouldn't have been able to use the word lost because
Yeah.
I recognize that, oh, they're still the same vowel. Thought.
Oh,
Lost.
got it. Okay.
So it expands like words that I could then use as a rhyme within this line.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yeah, and that's like a really useful songwriting tool, or even in poetry, if you want to write like that. It's kind of a way to like cheat and not use a perfect rhyme, but in essence it serves the same function because they have the same vowel sound.
Gotcha.
And yeah,
Okay.
this line,
Oh,
without a
cool.
thought to the time you may have lost, is just, yeah, she gave her time to me just like unconditionally.
Yeah,
she
it definitely
never complained.
takes
Yeah.
time. Definitely takes time.
Yeah,
This
like
is
Gary,
similar.
I cut fruit, for my parents, for my friends, for my girlfriend now. Yeah, it takes a long time.
It does. Hey, here's a trick though. Okay, this kind of ruins it, but if you get a potato peeler, it's cheating, but it does the trick.
Hey, it doesn't
Okay.
matter. It doesn't matter if it's
Yeah.
it works.
So since we were mentioning, see, Leo breaks down music really well, and he gives a lot of good tips on how to write music. In fact, right now, Leo is even offering one-on-one consultation for songwriting lessons and coaching. You can even get a little more taste of how he does that because we'll open the floor soon. Then you can reach him through WeChat. That's on Leo Shah Music. Over here, I want to mention this really quick because right now, as we kind of mentioned, I skipped this over in the beginning because I got so excited about Leo. I didn't really intro what the company does. Over here, as I think many of you are already current students, you're aware that we offer a lot of reading and writing, public speaking programs. Something I've always said is that public speaking is actually very similar to singing. The way that you go up, you go down, the way you slow down, those are all very similar tricks you can use in public speaking and in writing music and singing music. Specifically for reading and writing, that's something new that we're starting nowadays. We have a very cool liking challenge going on right now. For those of you who have a Facebook account, basically log into Facebook, go to this page, which is our Facebook page, and just like the page. Right now, we're at about 2.7, 2.8 likes. If we're able to amass a new 500 likes, that we'll offer 7% off on any A2S program for every single person who has ever liked or followed our page. So keep an eye out for it. If we're able to get to 3.2, then all 3.2 followers and likers will get a massive credit bonus. Do it, it's worth it. Okay, now this is just something else. I know for some of you, you've already liked the campaign, or maybe you already liked our page, you're already taking our programs. It's still a good idea to follow our Facebook page, because right now we're running a lot of challenges. So we're gonna start running challenges where, for example, we'll say, hey, this week we have a monologue challenge. Try your best to give us the best monologue talking about why you like cake. It can only be 15 seconds long. Then we'll vote on it, see who does the best. You might be able to earn more credit, or you might be able to earn a little prize. In addition, we'll usually provide feedback for you. For example, we'll tell you where you can get better, where you have been doing it really well, what are some spots, basically, to how to always find ways to improve. Please note, this picture is amazing. That's probably, I hope that's not what I look like when I talk, but nonetheless. All right, so at this point, we're opening the floor for Q&A. Feel free to ask questions to Leo, or if you want to share music, that's also really neat too.
Gary, I think we have 2 or 3 students already prepared the lyrics for Leo to take a look first.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very
Awesome.
nice.
And,
So exciting.
Yeah, Olivia, do you want to do first? And then will be Alina, then everybody.
Yeah, sure, sounds good. Is there, let me think, because I think for their lyrics, they might not be able to post it, the whole lyrics, into chat if it's too long.
No, it's okay. It should be doable. Gary, you can just post to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, post to the chat to everybody. You have the function to do that, right?
Yeah, I do have Olivia's lyrics.
Well, first off, to everyone that has written lyrics, congratulations, you're writing lyrics. That's so awesome. And even before I, critique it or anything, I just want to say that's amazing. And I hope you keep writing.
These are the lyrics. This song is, or this poem, lyrics, song is called Outside, Inside.
Gary, can you please share your, you can do like put the lyrics in the PPT slides, create a one slide, and then share your screen with this with the class. So Leo can look at that.
Yeah, one sec. I'm gonna create a new slide that will enable us to.
So this is Olivia's song, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Where's Olivia? Is she still here?
Yeah.
Okay, can you please turn on the camera, Olivia? Show your beautiful face.
Presenting, sharing. Man, this technology thing is hard. All right, here we go.
Beautiful. Nice background choice, Gary. Crushing.
It was the default page.
So, Olivia, can you talk to me a little bit about, why you wrote the song? Yeah, what were you inspired by?
Well, basically, we had like it wasn't exactly an extra credit project. It was just a little side project that you could do if you wanted to with no extra points. Our English teacher told us to basically write a bunch of haikus about quarantine and our experience, and I did. And then today I came back and I edited it all together.
Oh, this is a haiku. This is really cool.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have noticed that if you didn't point that out, Olivia. It was awesome. I'm still looking through.
Yeah, sure. Take your time. I'll talk to Olivia in the meantime. Olivia, I love your background picture. It looks good.
Gary, why not just ask Olivia to read her own poem a little bit?
Great.
Okay, sure. I haven't heard you speak in a while, Olivia. So, I'm going to hold you to those high standards. Good luck.
Sitting at the desk, rain falling to the ground, bored as I can be, staring at the sky, yearning for the outside world, like everyone else. Click, clack, click, click, clack, goes my dad's laptop next door. It's reassuring. Stretching out my legs, spending every day with the parents. The birds in the sky fly as high as they want to, without boundaries. I wish I could do that. Fly, 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 away from reality.
Beautiful. Yeah, Gary, do you want, is there a certain way you wanted me to do this, or I'm happy to just look through and talk about all the awesome things I see.
Yeah, sure. I think that'd be cool if you can kind of go through what things you saw, what is good for writing the lyrics, where you might adjust it. That'd be really great if you could provide that.
Yeah, so I'll first talk about it even, not even in a songwriting context. I love the imagery. And I see a structure to it. I love that it starts out very like, oh, what am I experiencing? The rain falling to the ground, staring at the sky, click, clack, click, click, clack. Using different senses to bring someone into the moment it's great. It's great writing. And honestly, it becomes really good writing at the end when you connect it to something that's not just happening, but how you connect to that thing. Like birds in the sky, yeah, they can go wherever they want to. It's amazing without boundaries. I wish I could do that. And that's a beautiful ending to this piece, because I see you not just talking about oh, what's happening, but it really ends with how do you feel about what's happening. And yeah, I really like that. Yeah, Gary, do you want me to talk about this in a songwriting context, or?
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Maybe let's see, now that Olivia has these great ideas already laid out here, what would be her next steps? If let's say she wanted to try and make it in a song, and where are some directions maybe you can push her in?
Yeah, so I'm seeing, because it's like haiku format. So it's three lines that kind of that make one stanza. So, and usually songs are in, 4-line formats or even numbered lines formats, but I think that's okay. That's okay because that leaves space. So for example, with that pattern earlier, if it's cool, Gary, I can just try to improvise something just to demonstrate.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think everyone here really wants to hear you sing. And there was one person who asked me to sing. I'm like, I'm good.
Gary, you're a singer too. Got some songs out. So here's like that kind of jazzy chord I chose again. So there's 4 chords in this progression. So say it could be like,
sitting at the desk, the rain falling to the ground, bored as I can be, staring at the sky, yearning for the outside world, like everyone else.
So it's actually nice, because if you had 4 lines for each stanza, then I would have had to like sing every single line within that progression. So that's actually I think interesting, because that way it gives you space as a songwriter to just let the music kind of go. I think it's easy as a starting songwriter to be like, oh my God, how can I put as many words as I can, into this song? But I like that the way you wrote it from a songwriting standpoint, it actually provides some space for the music to breathe. I'd say if it were to be a song, to decide on some sort of rhyme scheme could be good. And especially in a 3-line format, even in Sliced Fruit, this is something I do. Like the first 2 lines, I make them rhyme, but then the last line doesn't need to rhyme, because it's kind of, it's like the odd child out, and it can kind of just stand on its own and be different. So for example, what rhymes with desk? I'm gonna kind of cheat and use a half rhyme again, and I think the word left, like, because it both has the S sound, so it could be
there.
So
Sitting at the desk, feeling like there's nothing left, bored as I can be,
So that's an example of me looking at it, what I do. And yeah, I just love that you use click, clack, click, click, clack. Because from a songwriting standpoint, one way is you could like literally sing it like click, clack, click, click, clack, click, clack, click, click, clack. Yeah. Or another way is to like, when you think about how the song is going to come to life in production, it could be like someone going like, so there's different ways to bring the imagery, because in your song you can use your lyrics, but you can also use the music to represent, like for example, the rain falling to the ground. I hear like, oh, in the song you could put like rain sounds in the background of the song, like shh, and it can create that, you know, soothing feeling. But again, this is just how I'm approaching songwriting and how I feel about it and what I'm seeing. Olivia, are you interested in songwriting?
I like it.
What kind of songs do you like, Olivia? What does your Spotify playlist look like?
I don't really have a specific favorite type of song.
Who's an artist that you're listening to right now?
I forgot what his name is. His first name is Benjamin. I really forgot what his last name is.
What do you like about Benjamin's songs?
Well, his voice is just very soft, and his lyrics aren't like,
You mean Ben
how do I
Platt?
say this? They're very subtle, and the tune is very subtle too. It's like something I can fall asleep to.
Beautiful. Is that the type of music that you'd want to write to?
I'm not
Doesn't
sure.
have to be. I'm just curious.
There's no specific
Yeah,
type.
that's okay. Cool.
Very cool.
Do
Thank
you write
Yeah, sorry,
regularly,
go ahead.
Olivia? That's just the last question for you, Olivia. Do you write regularly?
I like to write poems sometimes, and I have an online diary.
That's
Can
awesome.
we see this
Yeah.
online diary?
Can't wait to see more of what you write. Keep going.
All right. Thank you for sharing with us your poem, Olivia. That's mucho gracias. I believe there is someone else who's going to join the music gang. We have Alina Hang. Ha 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 ha. Rhymes.
But wait, do I
Yes,
just like
Alina?
sing it, or do I just like say it? Like I'm kind of confused.
Do you want to? Whoa. Hey, if you have a tune attached to it, I mean, I can say, I think all of us would love to hear it. Wait, someone has a violin there. Who is this? Who's the person with the, oh no, that's a ukulele. Ooh, I like that. But let's first start with Alina. Alina, would you, if you're okay with it, can you sing it to us?
Okay, but it's kind of classical. Okay.
Totally fine.
Okay. It's a jolly little town in the snowy valleys. You can hear them singing and the chirps of little birds. La 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 la. 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 There are jolly little people who bake fruit cakes and pie. It's a jolly little town. It's a jolly little town. Yeah, and then that's it. Pretty short.
That was awesome.
That was great. Yeah, I don't really have a critique. I just really enjoyed that. Some things I noticed, there's a la 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 la, and using like repeating melodies. That's really good. And I think there was a line at the end about like something town, and then you repeated that twice, and that's also really good for like what if you think, oh, like, I really like this line, I'm gonna repeat it again. Like that's great. That's a great way to really make something stick. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. That was awesome.
Can you redo it? I forgot to record it.
Oh,
Wait, I
okay.
think it's recorded in the Zoom meeting.
No, it's
but
okay.
do you want...
I want to use cell phone. Yeah, please.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead, Alina.
Too short.
Okay. Like I'm just gonna start right now.
Yeah, Elena,
Wait.
your hand
Hold
again.
on, let me spotlight her. All right, there we go.
Oh, like this?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Can I just sing now? I'm just gonna sing, okay? It's a jolly little town in the snowy valleys. You can hear them singing and the chirps of little birds. La 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 la. 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 There are jolly little people who bake fruit cakes and pie. It's a jolly little town. It's a jolly little town.
Yeah. Woo.
Nice.
That was awesome. Thank you for singing it twice for us, Lena. There are, I will say, I think there are at least 2 more people I know who have something they could potentially share. The first one we're going to have go is my boy, Ben. Ben, would you like to show yourself? There's so many people here. Let me see if Ben is here. Ben. Is Ben? Oh no, your name is not written as Ben. Okay. If I can't find you, oh, I see Mama. Okay. Is Ben still here? Okay, if they're not here, that's no problem. Sophie also has something that she could share with us. In addition to that, I noticed Laura has an ukulele, and I'd love to hear her playing of it. Okay, so now let's first get started with Sophie. Wait, did Sophie leave? Oh, no, she's still here. I will ask her to lower her hand, or is her hand still raised? Sophie, are you still here? Okay, I'll just message Sophie when she's back. She'll be back. We also have Celine, who has a song she could share. Be very interested in hearing that.
Let's go, Celine.
Celine is no longer, for some reason, I still think Celine is 4, but Celine's a lot older now. All right, let's see. For Celine's song, we have lyrics. Because there are lyrics, let me post it onto the slide.
我先用这个上，然后用这个 leave 好吧？
好啊。Ooh, whoops, this is big. Okay. Okay, here are the lyrics. I think it's 以花被花六半开. You know what? I think I got all the words wrong, so I'm going to say nothing. All right, go ahead, Celine. Take it away. I shall spotlight you.
What? Did you spotlight?
Yes, spotlight
Okay.
meaning we will see you.
3, 2, 1. 柳半开，天涯海角飘下来。鹅毛大看天地白。
Nice. Woo. Love the
writing in
451.
Chinese.
Did you understand that, Leo?
Yeah.
再唱一遍吧。
Okay.
再唱一遍。
Yes, sounds good.
似花非花柳半开，天涯海角飘下来。挂在枝头无日夜，鹅毛大看天地白。
Good. I like this one because I could hear you more, Celine. Wow, we have a lot of talent here. There's someone with a violin. We're still waiting to see if Sophie's going to come back and share music. Yes, Celine. Do you want to share something else?
What?
Sorry, Sophie?
I had to leave because my iPad was running out of battery, so I changed to a new one.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay. Celine, you were saying something?
Nothing.
Oh, no. Okay.
Tell,
Do you want to hear
tell us
some?
more. Tell us more about why you wrote that. How you wrote that.
It was actually like a homework for a camp. So it was about snow. So 四花飞花六半开 is like it's like a flower but isn't a flower, and it has 6 petals. And 天涯海角飘下来 means like when it snows, it's everywhere. And then 挂在枝头无绿叶 means if it's on a tree, even though it's on a tree, if it is a flower, it would have leaves on the sides, but it's not a flower, so there's no leaves, and it's snowing, so if there is still leaves, it's covered in snow. And then 鹅毛大毯天地白 means like it's as white as that what's that called? Goose feathers, and since it's falling from the sky, the sky is white, and the ground is also all white.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very
it's beautiful. It's a really interesting song melodically, because the first 3 lines, it's all like very pentatonic, very like what a lot of Chinese songs sound like. And I thought it was going to be like that the whole way, but the last line actually, it was like just a straight major scale. So I don't know if you intentionally did it, but it was some like Chinese, Western fusion there going on melodically. Super cool. I remember you showed me songs before, and this is the best one. So keep writing, CC.
Hey, Leo, I think it's possible some of the kids here might not know what pentatonics is. Could you explain to us a little bit about what pentatonics is?
Yeah, pentatonic is if on a piano you play only the black keys. That's what pentatonic is, and it's just a scale that's used in a lot of Eastern culture, or Eastern country music. I mean, in Western stuff too, but just not as much. But especially Chinese music, like you'll notice if you play it on piano, like you can. And pentatonics are actually a great songwriting cheat as well, because with the right chord pattern, you can play any song on a pentatonic scale, and it will always sound good. It will always sound good.
Someone wanted to follow up with a question about what you said, Leo, which is what kind of emotions does a pentatonic scale convey versus like minor, or I guess diminished, or major?
Yeah, major is more happy. Minor's the typical like sad chord. Pentatonic, pentatonic to me, maybe it's because I grew up listening to a lot of Chinese music. But pentatonic, to me, it makes me feel like peaceful. Like dropping a little pebble into a river, and you see it just ripple out slowly. Just very, very, very calming.
Something interesting about the pentatonic scale, by the way, for everyone, is the pentatonic scale does not have any chromatic steps, any half steps. I think that really makes a big difference to how it ends up sounding. Most of them, I think, are 2 half steps or possibly more. Something kind of cool. Okay, now we still have a little bit of time. I think one of them is unavailable now. Laura, are you interested in sharing? Do you want to share a little bit of your ukulele?
Loving these shares.
So I think that'd be really cool. Okay, Laura's not responding. How about Sophie? Now that you're back, do you want to share your song?
Okay, so this song is kind of weird history. So I was playing a game with my friend, which was based off of like this our favorite movie, and then I just thought because the movie was basically a musical, I just thought maybe we should make our own songs, and then I just wrote this for fun. But then when I was taking this class, I just thought maybe I should share this.
Cool. Hey, do you want to turn on your video? We'd love to watch you as well.
Hold on, let me just post it in the chat.
Okay, sounds good. Whoa.
Yeah, it's kind of like all connected. I couldn't make it into different paragraphs for some reason.
Okay, no worries. Let me see what I can do with this. There are a lot of words.
Yeah.
Let's see. I gotta make this smaller too, probably.
Oh, that's really big.
Yep. For now. I shall. Okay, at least this way it fits. I'm not gonna take the time to edit it, but we'll just at least take a look as we go, all right? Okay, you can start when you're ready. And do you have the, can you turn on your video, por favor?
I have a tune, but I don't know what to sing inside.
Okay. Go ahead, you can start when you're ready.
Yeah, so I have a tune for the song, but I'm not very comfortable with singing it.
It's okay. It'd be awesome if you, so you don't want to share it. You'd rather just hear what Leo has to say about this?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Leo, feel free to take it away.
Some of the words, I kind of emphasize the vowels a little to make it more like it's like dragging it out, but it's not really that.
Okay. Yeah. By the way, just for everyone, I also happen to share in chat. That's the link to Leo's YouTube video for Sliced Fruit. Feel free to click on it. We can add some views. But yeah, Leo, take it away. This is Sophie's poem and lyrics.
I marked the verses and the chorus and everything too, just so you know where it's split.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome. I'm looking through. Thank you for marking everything. It's funny because it has a lyric that's said all my life has been pre-organized, and you're coming through very organized. So I'm liking how that comes together. I like how you mark. I need to know, like with three O's. Yeah, it feels like a very musical kind of sounding lyrics from what I'm reading. So is there a melody for this, or this is just something that's been written?
Like I said before, I have a melody for it, but I'm not very comfortable with singing it. So.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'd want to hear it eventually. That'd be awesome. All my life repetitions. I love that.
I think you left out some of it. Oh no, I left out some of it. Hold on, let me just read.
No worries. It's because I think there's a lot of words. That's why some of them got cut out a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know where it got cut off. Hold on, let me see.
It got cut off on all my life. It's been pre-organized all my life until now. All my life,
Okay, hold on. Let me select that. Let me just start from there, and then I'll copy it again.
Okay, sounds good.
It's really long. I spent like an hour writing this.
Oh, okay.
This is great. I mean, I can see it like on stage with the whole ensemble already, like music.
Sorry, one second. I'm gonna add some edits here.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Now it's good.
Oh wow, now it's even longer.
The new part is all my life I've allowed it to just roll out by itself.
Yeah, this like particular style, it's very, it's very expressive, and that's why it's very conversational, and I can tell that that's like more of a musical theater style. It's very like I feel like this is
So
how I
like
feel right now.
the character I was playing for our game, it was like she used to like how do I explain this? I don't. Let me see. So she's used to doing like one kind of thing, and then I want to be a bit more general. So she's like used to being like one kind of person, and then she's just like suddenly her life is just like and then she's just totally different because it feels like her mom's not there anymore to like help her because her mom's like in a different place in the world, and then it's just like it's really weird, and then everything her mom told her is basically the opposite in the world, so she's very confused.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I love that you're able to put yourself in the perspective of that person. I do that in my writing as well. Sometimes I don't like writing from my own perspective. That's a great way, just to everyone in the Zoom call right now. That's a great way to kind of switch it up, write about something different. Like earlier, we almost wrote a song from a panda's perspective, for example. So yeah, honestly, I don't really have critiques for this. I'm just really happy that you did this, and I'm really excited to hear what the song's going to sound like. I think I already seeing it. You becoming like a musical theater writer. This is such an amazing start, and I hope you keep writing.
Yeah. All right, folks, that's about all the time we have for today. I want to thank you all for joining. Definitely keep an eye out for the cool stuff that Leo is creating. There's a link, I can post it again actually, that will take you to his YouTube page, basically, because you can rewatch Sliced Fruit. After you watch Sliced Fruit, grab some tissues to wipe those tears, give your mama and your papa a big hug, be thankful for them. Yeah, I think from this point, just the last thing I want to mention is we will definitely have probably a bi-weekly workshop moving forward. We'll have neat little guests coming out. You'll see me over here. I'll usually be here for these workshops. We'll learn a lot of neat things. We'll get to share a lot of things with each other. Think of it as a nice place to relax. It's a haven. Let's put it that way. I'm trying to dig into my vocab right now. Someone laughed at me because I was struggling. Also, Sophie, that was too many likes and ums. We got to fix that. Great. I think that's about all for tonight. Thank you all for joining. We will see you again soon. Bye bye.
Thank you, Leo. Thank you. Gary.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
Thank you, Leo.
Bye everyone. Thank you for coming.
Bye.
You know you were able to shine.